I was really worried. I was worried that I was going to become addicted, that I was going to be shaking the Adderall bottle. Hey y'all, how are you doing? I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. It's me, Kim, and I'm back for another video. Let's do a little Adderall update, shall we? You guys have been asking for months and months, so let's talk about it. All right, before we dive into it, let's go back 5 months to February 2022. I'm about to turn 33 and things are just not right. I'm trying to figure out why am I not happy? My life is fine, but it's not a 10 out of 10 and it should be. So I'm thinking about, do I need to break up with my boyfriend? Not yet. Do I need to move? No, I love it here. Do I need to go back to school? Absolutely not. I don't want to do that. What do I need to do to put the pieces of my life back together? And finally, I decided that I was going to take care of the neurodevelopmental condition that I've been ignoring, suppressing, setting to the side for 25 years from age 7 to 33. And in a fit of desperation, I sought out treatment for my ADHD. In March of 2020, I made this whole video about it where I went into excruciating detail about my origin story with ADHD, how it went undiagnosed for years. It wasn't until I was in my 20s when somebody was like, oh, you got something going on. I talked about how I managed it for so long and how I was really white knuckling it for decades. And then I talked about why I finally decided to get on medication, even though I am the biggest, or I was the biggest medication skeptic, but I was desperate. All right, so we are here 4 months later and I'm glad I did it, you guys. It's definitely a yes, 100%. I hate that I waited so long, but my life has changed so much that I would never make a different choice. 100%. I went back and watched that video just to make sure that I didn't miss any points. And the very first thing that stood out to me is I look different. I do. I've lost about 20 pounds in the last 4 months, not counting calories, not starving, just living, doing what I do. I'd heard things about how the girls get on Adderall to stay skinny. That was not my aim at all. I was just looking for a clear mind. I just needed some peace. And I do want to underscore here that I did not starve myself. I don't count calories. I rarely get on the scale. Really, only if I'm going to the doctor do I get on the scale. It's just changed my desire to eat and the amount of food that I want to eat, but also the kind of food that I want to eat. So food really used to be the center of my life. I was driven by my cravings of sweet, salty, fatty. I loved fried foods. I still love soul food. But I would wake up in the morning thinking about, okay, what are you going to have for breakfast? And what are you going to have for lunch? And what are you going to have for dinner? And something that I didn't really get into in that last video, though I might have mentioned it, is I was a severe binge eater. And there's a lot of shame attached to that. And even though I was, a little bit bigger, I don't know if people ever really suspected it, but I literally could not control how much I was eating. I would eat and eat and eat. And the thing in your brain that says, that's enough, walk away, put it down, would never click. I would feel the physical sensation of being full, but I would never feel the mental sensation of satiety, right? Being satisfied. And so I can say this now, there were times when I would eat 3 dinners. I would go to Sonic and then go to McDonald's and then go to Chick-fil-A. And you're just eating. And it feels good. You're getting the dopamine hit. But then you feel so much shame because you're like, Kim, why did you do right? And I know that there's something mental happening with that because as soon as I started Adderall, I had no more desire to binge eat. Literally. Before I was on the anti-fat phobia train. But I'm so doubling down now because when people are like, just make a different choice. Why don't you just stop? You guys have no willpower. I know that 1 week I was binging, waking up in the middle of the night to eat Pop-Tarts and candy and popcorn and ice cream. And the next week, I had no desire to do any of that. I'm the same person. The only thing that changed was the medication. So it's 100%. something chemical, neurological in the brain. And so don't come around me with that bullshit of willpower or any of that. No, that's not what it's about. No. So for those few weeks when I did not have any appetite, I would get like real bad hunger headaches. And that's how I knew like you got to do something. Get a bowl of oatmeal, get some carrots, get whatever. It literally could be anything because I had no specific cravings, right? So before, right, like my cravings were so intense and specific. Like I have to get lasagna from Buco de Beppo, or I have to get chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A, or I have to get ooey gooey butter cake from Jenny's. I don't have that anymore at all. It is the craziest thing in the world. And it's also weird, right? Because you'll be out with people and they'll be like, oh, let's get to, and I'm like, I could skip dessert actually. I don't really want dessert. And then they look at you like, huh? Or a couple of weeks ago, I was on a trip, right? A little road trip. And we, stopped by a fast food restaurant and, they're taking the orders. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to get a kid's meal. And one of the people looked at me and was like, are you on a diet or what's going on? And it's like, no, I'm not on a diet, but that's all I desire to eat. Literally, like and even with the kids' meal, I could eat, half the fries and like 2 chicken nuggets. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm not hungry anymore. So I'm good. Like, you guys, it is crazy. It is crazy. The connection that our brain has with food, it's wild. So I'm no longer binging. I'm no longer overeating every single day. I'm no longer waking up in the middle of the night to eat sugar. And my health really has been greatly affected by that. In December of 2021, my doctor was like, oh, your blood pressure is a little bit elevated. And, I knew I was eating shit every day. And she was like, okay, well, you need to make some lifestyle changes. You need to get active. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. I knew I wasn't going to do it because the cravings were too strong. And my acid reflux is gone. For years, I had horrible acid reflux. I would go back and forth to gastroenterologists to figure out what's wrong. Okay, try this PPI, which you're really not supposed to be on for a long time. Okay, try this. Elevate the head of your bed, drink this, and I was even on the acid reflux, like forums on Facebook, like, what do I need to try? And it just turned out I was eating too much. And it got so bad that in April this year, I had scheduled, before I got on the Adderall, an endoscopy, which is a procedure where the gastroenterologist sticks a camera down your throat to check your esophagus and the top of your stomach for structural changes, because I was like, something's got to be wrong. Like, it was so bad. It kept me up at night, like the gurgling, the regurgitation feeling. I was always so stuffy and sniffling and coughing. I still have a little bit of residual symptoms, but 95% gone. And the only thing that's changed is the amount of food that I'm eating and the type of food that I'm eating. The only thing. I was just eating. And at one point, one of my gastroenterologists was like, I think you're just eating too much, because I was telling him about the sensation that I was feeling. And I was like, no, I don't think that's it. I'm like, yes, girl, that was it. Okay, so that's the food stuff, how much I was eating, when I was eating, what I was eating. Now let's talk about how this has changed my professional life. I feel like I might have downplayed in that last video how big of an influence capitalism was in me making this decision, but I gotta be real, right? Like, I'm good. I have a little bit of a cushion, but I'm not rich, and those cushions dry up. And so I was kind of starting to panic, like, Kim, you've got to make money. You've got to do your job, but I just couldn't. I was stuck. Literally, like, I couldn't. And for me, the hardest thing was just getting in front of the camera to sit down. It would take so much emotional energy. I would wait until 8 and 9 o'clock to film a video because I was procrastinating all day. And so now, if you've been following, like, we're in a very high productivity mode. I feel so proud of myself for the team that I've been able to assemble, the work that I've been able to do, the discipline that I've been able to have. But I know the medication is doing a lot of work here. Okay, so I know that when I take my Adderall in the morning, I have about 15, 20 minutes, and then we are on, right? We're off to the races. It's literally like my fingers cannot move fast enough to keep up with my brain. My brain is moving so quickly from idea to idea to idea, to email, to editing, to scripting, to research. Like, it is wild. So So I have like 5 hours where I'm like superwoman, laser focused, like on it. And it's not laser focused like I can't do anything else at all ever. Adderall has, for the first time in my life, given me the ability to do a semblance of multitasking. So let's say I'll be at the computer working on a script, typing my little fingers away, and then a thought will pop into my brain. Oh, I forgot to text my mom. Now, before something would happen where the thought would pop into my brain, but I couldn't do it, right? Like I would be paralyzed. Like I couldn't just whip out the phone and text. I would push it to the back and then forget about it and then come back to it the next day. Like I was procrastinating about such silly things. Now I'm typing, working on this thing. And it's like, oh, wait, let me text mom. Let me text my assistant. Let me whatever. And then I do it. And then it's done. And then you move on to the next thing. It is such a game changer because those little things are how you get to progress. And even those little like checking up texts or emails is how you maintain connections with people. But we'll get to that later. It just feels good to go to sleep every night and be like, you did it. You did your best. And I know I mentioned in that last video, it was so hard and painful to go to sleep at night being like, oh, you failed yourself again. You could have done better. You're not living up to your potential. I don't feel like that anymore. So I no longer agonize over these little tasks that I know I have to do to get something done. Like, okay, so for a long time, I've been saying I wanted to do a DFW happy hour for Black women. Finally did it. Finally organized it. And it was so fun. I'm excited to do it again next month. Or even I've been wanting to make sure that at least once a month, me and my mom and my sister do something, an activity, an outing, a dinner. Finally planned it. It's that stuff that makes me feel so good. Like I'm a person in the world doing things. And I also just love when I have an idea, you work on it, you get it done, you put it out. It's night and day. And so, yeah, that is why you've seen so much of me over this past month. Like, we're really getting to it. So now let's move on to the organization part, because this is a really big one. I used to be so ashamed of the fact that everything in my life was a mess. My home, my car, my closets, my purses, just complete disarray, the cabinets. And then people would come over and you'd be like, okay, wait, don't go in that room. Don't go in that room. That's the drunk room. Oh, don't open that door. People would ask for rides and I'd be like, oh God, like I'm so ashamed of my car. Like at my big age, I have a cute little car, right? It's like, oh my God, like it looks so horrible, And even my ex would be like, I cannot deal with this. Cause it really was just, I could never get it together to just like pick things up and put them in place. That is completely changed. Let me get my visual aids. I even use this. This is my daily calendar where you write the day. What are your goals? What's your to-dos, right? Every single day, write it out. And I used to be the wildest, most chaotic traveler where you're just throwing things in the suitcases, throwing things in the carry-on. Who knows what's in there? Oh crap, I forgot a toothbrush. I forgot this shoe. No, I do not do that anymore. This is crazy. I've become a crazy person about this. I have bought all of these little pouches to organize. So this is, because I'm about to go on a trip right now, this is a pouch with one outfit. So it has the outfit in there. It has the handbag in there. It has the jewelry in there. And so everything is so neat, right? I even have, this is for, your carry-on. This is where I put all of the cords. You guys, I'm really using this. In fact, I will put in footage here that I really put on my Instagram stories for when I'm traveling. We're gonna try the travel jewelry organizer for this next trip. And shout out to everybody for your travel organizing suggestions. They were so useful, this completely new. And then when I get to the destination, I have to unpack everything very neatly, hang it up, put it in its right place, organize the bathroom. Good morning, sunshine. I thought that since I'm up doing it, I could give a real life example of one of the biggest ways that being on Adderall has changed my life. I'm up right now unpacking my suitcases and organizing everything in them so that I can have a good, comfortable hotel stay for the next couple of days. Adderall has changed in my brain, not only the desire to get and stay organized, but the motivation to do it. This is the accessories table. Definitely need a little container for all that. The bathroom stuff is out. Body, hair, a couple little makeup things, not nearly everything. I'm trying to accurately convey what a complete 180 this is, because that's unimaginable to me. Even now, I talked about just having a nasty, messy home that I was just so ashamed of. Even right now, like, it's paining me because I need to get up and clean. Now I look around and I'm like, the kitchen is messy. Oh, the bathroom. Oh, we gotta make the bed. And then I do it myself. Now I'll say maybe once a month, get a professional to come in here and like do the deep clean scrubbing. But even when they come, my home is not nasty. It's not things strewn around. I'm not asking them to do so much work. Really, they're tidying and vacuuming and wiping down, right? The idea of, oh, I cannot live with this clutter, so let me get up and fix it. It's the simplest thing, but it has really transformed my life. Truly. Oh, and let me just say, okay, so months ago, I actually got a consultation from a professional organizer because I was like, I have all of these cabinets and everything is just thrown, every which way. And I have to get the bathroom and the kitchen and the office and like somebody has to, because I just can't live like this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so she came in and like she was gonna charge thousands of dollars, girl. Like, the professional organizers, if you have a knack for it, get into that, because people are paying top dollar. But not too long after I consulted her, I got on Adderall, and then 2 weeks later, I bought a label maker. Literally, I bought a label maker. It's so crazy. So I bought all of these clear organizing bins, because the girls love a clear bin these days, love a clear glass jar, a clear bin. Like, that's the aesthetic, to organize all of my toiletries. So things in the bathroom, organized. Face wash, hair stuff, body organized by me in the closet. I've purchased all of these cute little aesthetic, like little storage containers. They're fabric. They're all cute from Amazon. And in one, you put the bedding. Another, you put the towels. Another, washcloths. Another, bras. It's like, I'm that girl. But when I tell you, I never, it's not even about the ability to just make the decision about where things go. Like, this goes here. It's about the motivation to do it. I have the desire and the ability. Huge change. So now that you've seen the video of my crazy, meticulous travel packing, you believe me. I'm not lying. This is a thing. I'm that person now. Shout out to pharmaceuticals. Okay, so that's that on organization. Let's talk about how Adderall has changed my relationships. So before, I really had an out of sight, out of mind thing with people. So I would only, be with the person I'm dating because he was the most accessible and he was always around. I really feel like summer 2022 is my social butterfly summer, where I've been really intentional about reaching out to people that I want to connect with. Other influencers, writers, creatives in Dallas, just regular Black women, supporters in Dallas, family, friends all over. It just feels so good to not feel like the shittiest, most reclusive hermit in the world. Because look, this was a concern for me because I recognized that loneliness is a thing. I wanted to reach out to people. I wanted to connect to people. It's just I couldn't get over the mental hurdle of what do you do? What am I, And now I can overcome those hurdles. So I'm meeting new people. I'm dating new people. I thought about making a video titled Adderall Made Me Break Up with My Boyfriend, but that was going to be too petty. And I don't have a desire to shit on him at all. I have nothing but affection for him. But there was something about once I got more mental clarity, right? Once I could clearly organize my thoughts and place things in order and really think about the future in a very composed way, it really did make me reassess my partnership there. What things are you doing because you love them so much and they bring you so much joy? And what things are you doing out of habit? And I've also talked about my social anxiety of these things that are in my head whenever I meet somebody, like, am I going to be weird? Are they going to like me? Oh, that was such a corny joke. And it really has, the Adderall really has helped me be like, smile, smile, open yourself up. Maybe you don't have to talk to him. Maybe you do want to talk to him, but it's going to be fine. I'm not sure if that's 100% one-to-one, causation because of Adderall, but there is something about how I'm just more generally relaxed now, less self-conscious, more confident, where I feel better about talking to new people, approaching people, smiling, not averting my eyes when I encounter somebody that I don't know. Okay, and finally, let's talk about the money stuff. I'm a big spender. Love to spend money. It feels so good to shop, right? And buy new things. I still spend too much money, but I am much better now about, okay, I want this, but I'm gonna wait. I want this, but I'm gonna sleep on it. I could buy these 4 pairs of shoes right now and figure out where I'm gonna wear them later, or I could take a day, or take 2 days or 3 days, and then come back and be like, oh, are they really cute, or were you just feeling something? And so the money stuff really is about impulse control. My impulse control now is not perfect, but I do allow myself more space between I want this thing and I'm gonna get this thing. It's gonna be there. What are you worried about? Or, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it'll be sold out, but so what? You'll get the next thing. It's fine. It's just a thing. That's a big deal. Okay, you guys, that's it. That is how my life has changed. And it's a huge change. I'm so grateful for this change. But I wanted to make sure that I hit on some of the not so great parts, and the things that Adderall did not fix. One, I am so dehydrated all the time. I'm thirsty all the time. It's I cannot drink enough water. My mouth is always dry. The next thing is the interaction that Adderall has with alcohol is crazy. Oh, I know that they say it on the label, don't operate a motor vehicle if you plan on drinking. But there's been a couple of times where I've had Adderall, I took it in the day, and then I had maybe 2 drinks, a glass of wine or a cocktail, or maybe a cocktail and a half, and I was flat on my ass. So there have been times you go out on a date and you've taken Adderall that day and you're, planning to have fun, have fun. And right after dinner, I'm dead asleep in the car. You cannot wake me up and be like, oh, sorry, I couldn't help it. So anyways, now I know that if I'm going to be drinking, then I won't take it, or I'll take it way, way early so that by the time it's fun time, it'll be worn off. But that's definitely a thing. So for the past 4 months, I've taken the immediate release form of Adderall. And you take it whenever you want. I, don't have a schedule. I literally just take it whenever I want to be productive. And 15 to 30 minutes later, the switch flips and you're in it. And then you have 4.5 hours, maybe 5 if you're doing really good, to get all of your shit done. Because after that 4.5 hour mark, you're going to come down and it's going to be real abrupt. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be real. And so I did find myself having a little bit of anxiety about oh, I have to get this done. I have to go, get this done, go here before it wears off. But then I decided recently on my checkup, we decided to transition me into a little bit of a higher dose of extended release Adderall so that I could get a longer window of productivity. So I have at this point taken it 1 time. So I was awake from 6 or 7 Sunday to 6 o'clock in the morning Monday. No sleep. Bus. Another bus. Right? That was me. And I didn't feel tired. It's I felt oh, I need to rest right now, but I can't go to sleep. I'm not tired. So I was just up. It was very disorienting. I realize now, I tweeted about it, and then people were you got to take it early in the day, maybe break it in half. And I do have a follow-up appointment in about 2 weeks, so I'll talk to her about it then, because I do want the longer window of productivity where you can get things done and you feel motivated and you feel happy and good and confident, but I also need sleep. So I haven't taken it since then. I just went back to the immediate release tablets and take those, but I'm gonna have to figure out something. One thing that I thought Adderall would fix that it has not fixed is I am still not good at long-term projects. Now I'm great at just like seizing things, attacking things, cranking them out, getting them done. But it's like the long-term step-by-step planning that I am just really not doing well at. Also, I still hate rigidity. I still hate schedules. But I've been reading Thema Bryant's book, Homecoming. And I think I'm realizing like that's not an ADHD thing. That's a childhood trauma thing. So Adderall probably is not going to fix that. So I'm trying to get better about adhering to a schedule. I have discipline. Oh, I have the discipline to get up and work, baby. But it's like, you know, like that I'm just really not good at. And also it's the, okay, what are you going to be doing in 6 months thing that I'm also not great at. I'm still working through. Okay, and finally, I still have anxieties. Like, I used to have real bad anxiety tied to the fact that, okay, Kim, you're not living up to your potential. You need to do more. You can do more. You want to do more. I don't have that anymore. I feel, like I said, great and proud and satisfied. But I have other anxieties that I thought that Adderall was going to like mellow out, and they haven't. And it hasn't. It has not addressed that. And so I've been thinking like, I definitely am going to talk to my doctor about this, because I don't know if I want to be on an anti-anxiety medication and Adderall. I feel like that doesn't really make sense. Or maybe I just need different and new coping strategies to deal with anxiety. Because it's like sometimes, you know, it does creep up. And I know that people are like, oh, Adderall gave me panic attacks, Adderall. And it's like, this is not it, because this is stuff that I was dealing with before I got on the medication. So I guess we're going to figure out how to deal with that. If y'all have experience with that, let me know. How do y'all manage it? If you're on an ADHD medication, how do you manage your anxiety? Let me know. All right, so my tips, I don't really have any tips. You know, I try not to give advice. Girl, don't sue me. I'm not a doctor. But something that has really helped me is I do regularly take drug holidays where there will be, you know, days when I'm on vacation. There are days when I do not take Adderall at all, or even when I'm just hanging out around here when I don't have to be chained to the computer or super productive, you know, running errands and stuff. I just won't take it in order to make sure that I can maintain a similar level of effectiveness, because obviously your body gets used to drugs and then you have to up the dosage to get the same effect. I'm still feeling really good on 10 milligrams, but it's only been 4 months. Like, it's too soon to tell. And even that 15, I feel like that 15 had me zooted. I was out of here. So I'm good at the 10. All right. To wrap this up, you guys, I was really worried. I was worried that I was going to become addicted, that I was going to be shaking the Adderall bottle. Adderall does make a big difference in my life, and I notice when I don't take it, but I don't feel like addicted. But also, I no longer have that fear of, oh, I'm going to take this forever. Maybe I might take it forever. But the improvement is so substantial that it's worth it for me. So I don't, you know, okay, maybe I will be taking this in 10 years or 20 years. That's fine. Is my life still good? Okay, great. I was also worried before, like, is this going to do something to my sex drive? No, it has not. We're good. And I definitely have faced some drug stigma. Whenever I talk about this on social media, there's always a few people who are like, you don't need this, change your diet, do yoga, exercise. Why are you promoting this? And it's like, I can only talk about my experience, and my experience has been positive. 10 out of 10. Wouldn't change it for the, like, truly. And I'm going to share that experience and be completely just real with y'all. Like, I should have done it sooner. So anyways, I don't care what y'all say. You can't send me back to the strip club because I'm not going back, right? Old Kimberly is dead. Long live Kimberly. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate all of the support that y'all have given. Everybody who has reached out about their experiences, their tips, their tricks. All of the ADHD girls, especially the Black ADHD girls who are like, I'm so proud of you. This is what I do. Thank you. It's meant so much. You know, my life right now is so good. I feel so at peace and content and grounded. And even when little things come up, I'm like, okay, it's fine. We're good. Like, we're going to be fine. And is that all because of the pharmaceuticals? No. But I will put that on my willingness to identify the problem and seek out help for the problem and make a change. I am proud of myself. I'm proud that I had the courage to do it. And I hope that if you are struggling, that you seek out the medical care that you need, because it's worth it. That's it. I'll see you next time, guys. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Bye.